That's something pretty simple. Nuke starts to get a little bit more layered, especially at the top level. You saw in the break there, Mahone showing you plan of attack, the different smoke walls available to a team like ENCE, and on top of that, how syn as an individual will have to function as this consistently moving, rotating CT force, plugging gaps, filling holes. We're underway here with the 1x bet odds favoring ENCE quite heavily now, understandably so. At least syrsoN and tabseN are in good form.
At least they are, but syrsoN this time not going to be keeping tabs on the fact that they've gotten it towards Secret. Stampede down below, though they've obviously heard it. syrsoN's going to rotate over, tries to do damage where he can, but Snappy wins out that exchange. Valda going to take out tabseN before falling to syrsoN, but bomb already planted by SunPayus, who will now look toward the ramp. And the crossfire will be established. Nade bounced in, not going to happen because SunPayus is on the outside of the orange box to get the angle. Dia with the shot that is successful, and Crimbo and Quito are looking like they might not want anything to do with this, but really not much to save in it, so you might as well give it a shot.
Yeah, for Quito, the Kevlar, for Crimbo, nothing. So Crimbo may as well take a fight. Yeah, see if he can get something added to the bank balance here. Not going to really be offered up a whole lot. Just the tip of SunPayus' head scurries across the screen, and Crimbo is dead. Beautiful shot there from SunPayus. Now, I don't foresee ENCE having the same anti-eco woes as what they did on Dust 2. I don't think they have to worry about scouts too much, and the nades unlikely to cause as much damage, but that's a fantastic pistol round to kick things off. Kito's going to immediately force into a noob tube, the auto shotty equipped here, alongside some 5.7. So some high output weapons here available, and syrsoN will get into the scout, which is understandable for the scoped master. On the other side, ENCE are going to have 4 Galils and a Mac-10. Now, ENCE love a top rush, and if they can condition you early with a top rush and get it to work time and time again, you're boned. And here it comes. Squeaky blown off, Molly through, fast pace, Quito blind, and down the vent. Look at that 3, straight down the fireman's pole. tabseN to receive what he can, but we'll now pause for a moment. Dropping a smoke, tabseN going to isolate the fight. So just going to plan in this immediately. They're not even going to push anybody forward. They don't need to scale. They don't need to scale at all, because SunPayus has found syrsoN, and tabseN's like, hey, they're not giving me any kills, guys. They haven't given me anything at all, and they're back in the door, which has a hole in it. So knock, knock.
Who's there?
Valda.
Valda who?
Voldemort.
I knew you were going to say it, even
It's
though
too easy.
You're not allowed to say it. It's the name that shall not be named. Snappy already back inside of the decontamination room with syrsoN waiting on the other side of the smoke to try and collect an exit kill, but they're not going to go that far yet. Okay, doesn't matter. Smoke's going to dissipate. Good old syrsoN. He's going to collect up 2 with that 5.7. Another one for Crimbo. So they're making this expensive, if nothing else. But it is still going to be 2-0 for ENCE.
Oh, nice little save there with Galil. So thinking on his toes there, Crimbo will find them something to work with here. They can drop a 5.7 across. They can have a couple of extra weapons for Big now going into round number 3. You know what I think is like hilarious? One of my favorite things at the moment is like all the academy, the We Play Academy stands. When the academy players come in and they like, oh, this guy's gonna be sick, he owned in the academy league. And then the cool thing is they say that, and then when the player comes and doesn't really do a whole lot, they're like, nah, but it's all right, he was just an academy player. I love that. That's my favorite. My favorite.
Stands are great. I met a lot of them on Twitter the last few days. Crimbo trying to find the shots. Madden's gonna take the shot into him instead, though, as he backed out from main entrance and realized they were already they were already outside, and without smokes as well. They're just looking for the fights. They know they have the rifles, so why not? Don't get caught off by anyone who could lurk inside of that smoke and close the distance. Let's keep this line of sights. Let's keep the range at our advantage. SunPayus has to be careful of exactly that, though, because as he gets closer to Locker, there is syrsoN waiting inside of that window with the P250 that he can't see yet due to a cloud that shrouds. Although that's gone now. SunPayus makes no mistake on it.
Yeah, simple stuff here. So they're going to mop up this one without too many qualms. Over towards ramp, they can scale swiftly down towards the bomb side. They even have residual utility to help themselves out. But tabseN, he's down here again. He was here last round. Didn't get away with a whole lot this time. Same story. SunPayus eliminates him in the final 2. syrsoN and Quito with the 5.7s once more.
Bomb has been planted.
To find a frag or 2 down ramp. So a really, really great start here for ENCE. I'd be very happy if I was Snappy and Saul with this one. But this will be ENCE as an organization's 5th major appearance. We all remember when it was Full Finish and the story with Halo and Alexi and X7, all that good stuff many years ago. For Snappy, it'll be his 4th major, Diha's 3rd. Madden and SunPayus will be headed to their 2nd major each, and Volder's fourth, which is crazy when you think about Volder and how long he's been towards the top of the Danish tongues.
It's true. There's a few players that still kind of... I mean, Volder had his time in North, obviously, and was part of the Danish sort of, internal talent, shall we say. There's always been one or two that's been on the outside of it. For a while, it was Magisk, who only got his chance due to Kjærby making a lovely career decision and giving up a spot on Astralis.
Top 5 worst career decisions of all time. Kjærby's up there, Henny's up there, Device is up there.
Yeah, but Device I feel bad for other reasons.
That still was a terrible career decision.
Sure.
Maybe personal decision, it was a good one, but career, it was a bad one.
Yeah, definitely. But then, so now Kjærby's kind of out of it. And then you had a Cillian. That was another one. MSL was another one for a while that was outside of Denmark that, like, we always thought there was more potential than we saw. And Volder kind of ended up being in that position later on, but now is back on a roster that has had enough success to show his skill.
I like Diha, Alex. I called you Alex. Sorry, Matt.
That's fine.
You called me Jason the other day.
I did. I don't know which one is more insulting or compliment.
But you've seen Jason recently. I haven't seen Alex in months.
Well,
so I don't even know where that came from.
That is true.
But regardless, I really like Diha. He's a strong rifler. He's a good player. He just got 2 massive opening kills towards ramp, and the round's done. Is that why I like Diha? No. But it's showing some of his attributes there. So,
Okay.
yeah. These ENCE guys
like
are funny guys.
Well. They're nice guys, too. I like them. They're cool. Outside of the server, they're very friendly. Everyone's been friendly this event. It's good. No one seems overly stressed to the point where they just don't want to talk to you.
I don't know. You seen G2 lately?
Not since they've ended up 1 and 2. That's a fair point. During Pro League, man, Justin was super chill. On day 1, they 16-0. They were playing ping pong for 6 hours. He said, like, it was literally 12:30. I was going downstairs to get a snack because I ate too soon and went to bed hungry, and I made that mistake. So I was like, okay, I need to go get like an energy bar or something.
Understandable.
Went down, and he was like going back out to the pool to go play ping pong. I was like, it's 12:30, dude. He's like, yeah, we're just having a good time.
Working on the hand-eye coordination.
Yep. So they were happy then.
Not happy now.
I saw him a couple times in prior to the loss, and then obviously, yeah, maybe they're a little more stressed right now.
It's a big mood shift now, I imagine. Things are very serious for G2 from this point onwards.
Yeah, if they don't make it through to the major, holy, after the roster changes they've made and the success they had at their group of Pro League, and obviously a semi-final appearance against Vitality, a chance to go to the finals of Pro League. To fall flat a week later would be pretty shocking.
I think that's the contrast that hurts the most, is how good it looked and then how bad it looked yesterday. syrsoN, can he be the party starter or the party pooper?
Oh, nearly started the party off in style. He got 1 and then a huge amount of damage onto Madden behind, which means he's ripe for the taking. He follows that with a 3rd bit of damage as he legs up close. Actually, Madden again, that was the same shot, so I don't know how that happened, because it looked like he hit him twice, but I think it was just the rifle coming in at the same time the damage was dealt. Sin's going to take out Volder's Snappy. Shotgun for Kito, he's gone. Snappy with 2.
This needs to be a round that big convert here, but not one that is confirmed just yet. Great job from syrsoN with the impact outside. As you said, it felt like he should have been good for that 2nd shot, but can't connect. And now, Snappy and SunPayus, 2 big brains in the ENCE shoes, have some space. Down secret, time 20 seconds. SunPayus is holding off towards the vent, or at least calling it clear. Snappy can limp this smoke forward and plant, and fortunately, for all the ENCE fans right now, nobody towards the lower deck. Sin starting to hightail down secret, and Crimbo to activate through vent. Now this is a difficult position for Crimbo. You can see him there wary that somebody might even be residing, getting a cheeky bit of spam, but gives up his position while doing so.
So even dangles his feet to make sure no one's there, and he will get inside and down. Door shut, but it's double decontamination. The double Ds. A Snappy with that bomb ticking. As soon as they touch this, he's going to start taking the door out now so they can control the angle, control the peak. He finds the first, but he's out of ammo. Doesn't get it done. Sin, he's going to back off SunPayus, just plays the time. Takes the dink, doesn't matter. It's going to be 5-0 now for ENCE. And we cut away. Bomb didn't go off, so he saved the gun.
He survived. He lived to see another day, to see the sun here in Malta, and this is where SunPayus gets fully charged. Just like Spain.
Yeah,
He gets the Sun
okay.
here in Malta. So this is where he should play some of his best Counter-Strike. Remember how we had the meme with the Americans back in the day, with the Cloud9 roster? They had their tank tops. I'm trying to think what the most common term is. We call them singlets in Australia. So the tank tops and the Americans were doing the good run when they were wearing those. Maybe SunPayus needs the vitamin D as well. But this is, unfortunately... Look, it's hard to frame. In terms of an entertaining game of Counter-Strike, I don't think we're going to get one here. But in terms of ENCE showing some good form, looking hot, qualifying, it's everything you need, right? So it's not going to be an epic crescendo of ENCE. I've done it in a 16-14 to qualify. ENCE have qualified for the major. They're looking better. The roster's update is now starting to work. We're seeing good signs out of SunPayus and Volder. They can continue to add and build on that playbook and get a bit more playtime together. Because they're a 5-0 start right now on the T side of Nuke. This is going well.
Oh, it's going very well. And they're already 1-0 up in this series, obviously, as well. So Kito for good for one, only one. It's syrsoN that now sits up top on rafters, needs to cut them off to the vent, does. But the bomb went down the vent, interestingly enough. They didn't get another player inside of it. That might be the round in itself. syrsoN's kill, I mean, now there's a number of others that would confirm, including his next one onto Madden, is significant. Because if they discover that, if tabseN spotted that, and I don't know that he did, that the bomb is down there, he could easily hold it off, but he's going to wrap instead, and Diaz ready for that push. There it is.
Such a gauntlet Diaz going to have to run here. So a couple of kills, not to be the case. syrsoN from the heavens.
You did jinx that 5-0.
Yeah, well, yeah, I wanted it to be an entertaining game. That's why I was like, it's not going to be an entertaining game. We're not going to have a match. Now you get the massive crescendo.
Yeah, using your powers for good.
We have to around here. Now, this isn't the end for either team today as well. This is the 2-1, the 2-0 column. So loser of this actually has 2 more opportunities, 2 more best of 3s. That is the luxury that you afford yourself if you can win out your best of 1s in consecutive fashion. Here we go, door blown off, a bit more pressure towards top side, and that's going to hold tabseN at bay for now. Adam's going to run through the flames and find the entry. Kito down. tabseN still isolated from the fight, and they're in.
They are. syrsoN's in. He's got up on top on the rafters still, though. They haven't found him, and they think it's clear because he was inside of that smoke the whole time. syrsoN's looking pretty solid for the stand-in right now on the big side. And that's going to make it now a 2nd round in a row on the back of his good work upstairs.
Okay.
Way upstairs as well.
That smoke was an awkward one. I was trying to identify on the radar there whose smoke it was. Gobby talking directly to Kito right now. Not happy. Gob is a very animated coach, and it's quite clear when he's unhappy with how things are unfolding.
And you got to know that he's an affectionate guy, but he is demanding. And we saw it at the end of game 1 as well with, as it were, he was very animated speaking with, who was it at the time? It was Crimbo.
Crimbo, yeah.
And yeah, Crimbo looks, you know, it's tough sometimes. I used to be the kind of hockey player that, because hockey was where I was the most associated with coach, sorry to change away from CS, but just to give an example, if the coach came on to me too much, I actually would shut down because I'd feel like they were like mad at me.
Targeting you,
yeah. And I was like being disciplined. Whereas sometimes it's nice to have someone big you up and say, hey, look, you messed it up, but let's fix this. Like you're a sick player, go back. So there's a balance there, right? And I think that, yeah, Gobby, I don't know, he probably has the balance. He knows them better than we do, but you can see sometimes the reaction to that passionate coaching and instruction.
Yeah, for sure. And if it can motivate them, then yeah, we can understand how that style can work. Down the vent, on a buy, so much damage done. All right, getting tricky with it. ENCE continue to find the can opener towards A, but this one's broken, a little bit rusty. Bigger warding them off now, so they seem prepared. The bomb does slink down the vent, so Volder with an opportunity to plant. They already have SunPayus down towards B. Window's broken, bomb planted, and this needs to be a conversion for big. They found 2 openings here. They have so many smokes. They literally have all their smokes.
Yeah. Oh, syrsoN's got Madden. They have tons of utility no matter what for this bomb. 2 versus 5. Tough positions to still get back into, and that's why you've got headshot angles and you've got a vent bait about to happen, so they should be able to isolate these stairs. SunPayus backed off. Volder went a little bit too early. SunPayus had to leave the scene of the crime to go create another, and this is exactly the point. Look at this 2v5 with the bomb down, and it's all onto Crimbo. He's going to open the door, and Volder's going to get shot out of it. You're right, he does. He's inside of it. I don't know that SunPayus has the angle, but he finds it, and they hold it. It's 6-2.
Okay, there is no way Big should be losing a round like that with everything we pointed out. They even identified where both players were as part of that retake. One poked his head out of the vent, the other was poking him with 1 taps. Massive round from SunPayus and Volder. The weight of these two players is being felt in the server now. This is clinical stuff from SunPayus. Understanding they need to fight, they need to be jarring before they establish. Get two fortified on the bomb, and poor Crimbo around these smokes actually worked against him to get the kill onto Volder, but now just hoping, praying, not enough time, and they dropped the ball. There's the frustration on the faces. tabseN starting to feel it now, and you'd be that's that type of round right there. You feel untouchable. You feel untouchable when you pull off a round like that. You get stopped immediately. Your game plan, the whole point of that strategy was to get multiple members down the vent without losing too many casualties. They lost multiple, and then I don't even know how they were able to find the gap to get down, but they did. And putting Big back down to pistols, leaving about 2k of cash here so that they can purchase into the next with the loss bonus in their favor. But this is a rocky road. I like the coaching point you bring up there, and I don't know how many people have played team sports. Right? It's not. I don't even know if it's as common for the kids these days as it was when you and I were whippersnappers.
Yep.
But yeah, there was definitely different styles of coaching, definitely different ways to get the different styles and personalities activated.
Yeah, that 2v5 was off the back of a previous timeout as well, so Gobby would be pretty pissed off. But yeah, I think in-game leaders and coaches as well, they both have an obligation beyond just the game, and that is balancing the personalities.
Sure.
Because morale is hugely important, and it's not like certain team sports. Look at that. What just happened?
It was only with a USP, so that was the least investment.
Just literally walked down behind them like they weren't even ready for it. Now they're going to get caught out by Crimbo, who's up above. He's going to double as well. Hang on, Big's just pulling. They're everywhere. They have the whole map. They're like a pack of bees.
They do better when these scrappier buys come out. They're able to pull off a little bit more, taking a risk or two. The fact that they get a freebie with a USP right there is a huge find. And then that boost, fantastic. Forces them out towards ramp, multiple kills come in, and now Snappy, the cash isn't good for ENCE. You know,
No.
they won a really nice clutch round, but haven't been able to settle into too much of the economy here.
This one's done. He's going to go out. Kiddo's already spotting. He's got the kill clean. He's got the AK to hold it. And that is a big win for Big to get back into it. So they'll love that. I didn't mean to do that, but that's the
Humongous.
nature of their name. There
Gigantic.
you go. And another tactical timeout called.
Hey, yes, yeah. This one is going to be for Big, so let's see what Gob's up to.
Yeah,
Give the camera on Gob.
I just want to go back to what the point I was going to finish with coaches and in-game leaders. Unlike other sports where morale is important, you can sub out, right? Football,
True.
you have long subs. You can just say, hey, take the rest of this game off,
Yep.
you know, recoup. Hockey, you're switching every 45 seconds ideally. But you can just bench them for, not bench them, but set them out a little longer.
Yeah, give them the time to cool down.
You know,
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't get that in Counter-Strike. You're in the server the whole time. So it is very important to balance that.
Yeah. I think the coach is great because it's somebody who can keep everybody accountable, because everybody knows what the atmosphere can get in teams, especially when people get a little bit tilty. Even just the tone shift in people's voice is noticeable.
You go back to Trace when he was with Cloud9 as more of a managerial role, but did stand behind them before coaching became so prominent. And that's what he basically did. He was a morale guy. He just made sure everything was balanced.
Very important factor here. Now let's see. They're going to try top again. This time out the hut. Diha with the Tech 9 in hand, bounces his head off the door, and so much space here. It's just going to wrap around Keto. That's real easy. Now Sin needs to defend. Diha's got two. Nobody even accounted for him.
Not at all. Bomb's going to be planted. He will babysit it. Crimbo climbing up the ladder. Smoke back to the main entrance, make this retake less viable.
Holder has one as well. He can smoke off Heaven. And he will do. Makes good on that promise. That's just 20 seconds bought off the Heaven position now. This is going to be problematic. The bomb will be halfway gone.
Flash goes through and in. syrsoN with the AWP is going to follow in tabseN's wake. And hopefully he'll create a wake, create destruction into the site, because right now Thea is still on 82 HP. Hasn't had to move, and it is. Oh my god, that's a heck of a wake. It's a tidal wave. They'll get the defuse on this. It's going to be 6-4.
Okay, unfortunately they did have a kit here on Crimbo. You can also see one spilled out there on the site. So they got close, but they do pull it off. And a trifecta of kills coming back in on the retake. Very well handled. You can see the U-tilt, smoke towards Squeaky, isolate that position. They use the molly towards the single box, a flash and go. But Diha just with his pace, he got out the blocks real quick. Mario Cardi hit the right little combination there to be hot out the gates. But a nice retake, and that's the key there for Big. ENCE with the plant and that type of a buy. I love watching ENCE play. It's always so crazy. They're going to have 5 Khalils and a bunch of smoke. So let's see how close they can make this one.
Madden downed already. tabseN and Sin.
Top, mate. Literally just rushing top. now it's a 1-on-5. Okay. All right, fair enough.
Is it insanity at this point, or is it that they have 6 rounds? They're just like, hey, a couple more. Let's keep going. It's been working.
I think it's maybe a bit of that. I definitely think there's a bit of that in there, but you saw the same thing starting to happen on Dust too. There was a few rounds where you thought, okay, ENCE, maybe you rushed that one there, or maybe you didn't need to buy in that variety, but they still pulled off the victory, so you can't question the madness.
Well, it's kind of like Nate Dogg says, right? Ay. Rush A every day. You have to leave the pause in, just like the song, you know? Otherwise, it doesn't work.
All right. Yeah, I didn't realize we were getting some Matthew Trivett singing today. Like, is that more rapping? I don't know.
Every day. No, it's straight bars, yo.
Okay. Well, we're going to sit here behind prison bars for the next 45 seconds. As I think Volder just hopes that somebody slinks in here and gives away a kill, but I imagine Big are going to be pretty reserved in this. So it's a 1-round game, and still an opportunity for Big to get up to a 9-6 half. They'd be very happy with that. They're going to need to get quite a few more rounds consecutively here before halftime comes. But this is what happens on the T-side when you get such a good start. They made the first 5. It was 5-0. Not the Hawaii version, as syrsoN will take down Volder.
Yeah, Big actually making a bit of a case on this. And the problem is that, you know, if you do keep bashing your head against the wall and just think, oh, we just did 1 or 2 more rounds on this, you don't want to give too much away. I mean, look, sure, you're the favorite on this map. It's your map choice. They don't play it much. It doesn't matter. You still need to not give them a chance in it, right?
Sure. You know, I was talking before about ENCE and at Majors, the org had been at 5. Big, right? This would be their 7th if they do qualify. I mentioned they will have 2 more best-of-3 chances if they don't convert today. There's always still that option. They do get it done and grab a legend spot. It's only going to be the 3rd major for syrsoN. That seems crazy.
That is actually kind of nuts. But also, yeah, I mean, it is nuts now because we have 24. We had the pause when he kind of, oh my God, did you just literally bounce a flash off his teammate's head? That worked out super well. But it's going to work out for Crimbo because he's just going to slaughter them having not been blinded by that. But it's kind of more surprising now in the modern era that we have the 24 team that is counted as a major. When it was 16 teams, no, I would have said, like, you're a fringe team, you're not going to be part of that 16.
That's true. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Well handled here from Crimbo. Nice TK there from Madden to help him out as well. So playing Among Us here. As now there is enough money for an ENCE buy. 5 AKs instead of 5 Galils. You two are looking a bit healthier here. And Saul will take the 2nd timeout. While they're doing a bit of talking here. You always know that he likes to have a contribution, but it's about keeping those voices quiet. I think there's maybe too many of those in the ENCE camp. Snappier than the boss man. Those are the 2 that you want to be hearing from. So I wonder if we'll get just another top rush or we'll get something a little bit more tricky. Some smoke walls, some space, some playing out the rotations here. Because ENCE, when they have been able to get down the vent towards the lower side of things, that's when they can pull off remarkable rounds like that 2-on-4, 2-on-5 craziness. There we go.
So 6-6 score and a chance for Big to take a lead in this. Hardly had leads on Dust 2, and they might get one now. The Molotov is thrown centered of the hut, but that means the foot shows a little bit. They can still stand above it. Kito's going to do exactly that. Meanwhile, Dia outside. Molotov that goes in toward the stairwell position as tabseN sprays and makes sure that radio is somewhat open to the CTs.
This is the diagonal wall that Mahone highlighted in the video, and he highlighted they do contact or a top execute. Well, this time they're actually going to be using the smoke wall for what it's designed for, and that's to get this secret control. And that's the different options. If you're Big, you have to keep all of those in mind. Are they going for the top pop? Are they going to try and contact out late? Well, now that they've dropped that lurk smoke, it might make you feel that there's more pressure towards the A side of things, but they have been able to get down here. Now, speaking of down here, tabseN alongside of syrsoN, the 2 heavy hitters.
Dia down toward the control room stairs. syrsoN on the other side of this. AWP has to hit it quick, but with a slow peek, that's far too easy. Even gets a headshot with an op. Who cares about it? Just give me the stats. Oh, tabseN spotted. They know he's up top, trying to spray into him. He still gets the position, and that'll trigger syrsoN to fire in a nade toward the door. That's going to do a decent amount of damage. In fact, SunPayus down to half-life as they try to plant inside of the smoke. tabseN can hear it, but can't get it angled. Doesn't want to overcommit to showing himself either because he knows that there's likely more than one below, and he's brought the 2nd, but Madden gets the kill. He's limited for movement. Wants to try and hold off on the ramp, but the Molotov's still down. Didn't let him peek peek as aggressively as he might have liked to, so it was predictable crosshair placement. Meanwhile, it's still 3 to find, and syrsoN watching this. The CTs have the site right now.
What?
Smoked out. Like, this is, they could just go for this defuse. Surely Snappy's gonna try and spray onto it, so they're trying to bait it. They'll fire back in. They can body block it all day. syrsoN's gonna find Volda, and it's 6-7 now for Big.
Retakes are looking good, aren't they? I know that they did have the problem earlier where they couldn't put it together, but this one had a bit more tenacity, a bit more bite to it. There was a bit more hurry. Good util usage there to isolate the decon door. Madden gets one, but at that point he was isolated. You could see that the flames were in front of him. And Snappy is just taking the Hail Mary spam. Trace is making it a bit too easy for Crimbo to isolate that one, and they'll pick it up. But another plant means, of course, ENCE, another buy. Now they should be starting to get a little bit worried. It's 5 consecutive for Big to bring them up to this lead of 7. I'm gonna go top again here.
Smoke down, massive gap because it extinguishes the flames. That's gonna favor Volda, and it is up top we go with Volda opening up on tabseN as well. Keto doubles up though in return and behind the silos, and one of which was the man who found the entries. But Snappy seems fine to do it himself. And it's all on syrsoN, 1 on 3. Smoke down, he knows there's a gap so he can push through, but SunPayus holds the off angle, 7-7.
You want to look at 2 teams who are really good at harassing this top site through different ways. You look at Furia and look at ENCE. Like, whether it's the explodes, whether it's the spam, whether it's, you know, exploiting that squeaky door, getting down the ventilator, those 2 teams are fantastic, especially with the faster paced play. A lot of teams, when we talk about Nuke, they do the walls outside, they do the crawls, they get their space, they play the rotations. ENCE and Furia, they definitely a bit more top-centric teams. I'd say Furia even more so than an ENCE. But double AWPs for round number 15 here from the big boys. One into Crimbo's hands, one into the hands of syrsoN, understandably so.
Flash, doubly so. Crimbo. Backing off. Where was that flash? I think it hit Crimbo because he's jumping out of the way and his teammate was trying to give him some support, so it actually didn't do anything. Either way, that gives them ramp. Kiddo's downstairs. It's not up top, they'll go this time. Kiddo gonna try and isolate himself so he has one side to peek on, and also to extinguish a preset Molotov that was coming his direction, but Madden knows he's still behind the silo. He's gonna go to the door. Doesn't win out the duel though. tabseN with 19 HP remaining gets the kill. And he might do more than that because they have not got a bomb plant yet. Ooh. It's cheeky little spam through the edge of the door frame and then up through the catwalk as well as Dia drops down. Backing off of this. Did they take the bomb out of this?
Or they really could.
I mean, they absolutely.
It's a full rotation.
Wow, not with that kill. I think that's going to encourage them to stick around, but they aren't overcommitting the bomb. It is still at ramp to give them that option.
I like this fact that they've cancelled the aggression. They're allowing Big to play next.
SunPayus getting ever closer. D is the one with the bomb, and he's working up catwalk now, so B does look to still be the final destination for this round.
There's doubt for Big. They don't know. They don't know it's confirmed. They're about to find out in the hard way.
Makes a lot of noise to position himself for that plant. Double peek as well. Snappy's gonna have to be damn snappy, but they get the plant more importantly. Snappy still goes aggressively, and he knows they're gonna wrap in from as well. This guy's way ahead of the play right now, up to 9 kills. Not a ton and a half, but he's getting the impact. As tabseN will get taken down by SunPayus, and ENCE will win it out 8-7.
A good half here from ENCE, just one more half away from locking themselves in for the legend stage in Rio. Some good counter-strike. You can see SunPayus in the middle, letting the boys know what they need to do. But we're going to be heading to a break, and we'll be right back with the second half, and maybe the conclusion of this series, Big versus ENCE.
Hey Future Pros! Back on Nuke this time with a nifty smoke from frozenN that will give you a cheeky one-way for outside. To throw this smoke, get into the corner next to this door at main. Aim along this line in the middle between this dot and this vertical line while crouched. Then simply stand up and jump on the smoke. It takes a little while for the smoke to land, so don't expect it to be there before an outside rush could come in. But it's good to stall out the T's and gain some extra control. If anyone is foolish enough to walk by, they are easy pickings. There is another way to throw the smoke, maybe a lesson for another time.
The road to Rio. 2-0 for both these teams. ENCE and Big, so not a knockout game, but a legend spot on the line. 8-7.5 in favor of ENCE on the T side. Their map, it's Nuke, and they have a chance to maybe punch their ticket right now. And what a ticket to punch it's going to be, that Rio Major, IEM Rio. 100,000 fans, fanfare expo outside. Every stage is going to have an audience. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So you definitely want to be there if you're one of these 10 players in the server.
Yeah, and ENCE especially so after their rebuild in the break. I don't think it was an intentional rebuild either. Spinks departing for greener pastures of Vitality, and brought in Valda and SunPayus. That's the 1x bet odds heavily favoring the international squad now. I would love to see if they can get back to the dizzying heights of the semi-finals, which is where they were during Antwerp. But the opening fight, Neds are feeling all right as Molly's now towards A, and, well, Julie's at dawn. They weren't even drawn.
Wow, tabseN just destroyed Dia. Bust out the vent, but that doesn't mean they're going that way. In fact, they want to go right through. They want to. This is an interesting tactic. Do they run to secret now? They're just trying to run off everyone one-on-one before the rotations can come in. Forget the bomb site. Let's just use a mob squad mentality. Doesn't pay off entirely, though. Madden able to slow that down, and now they'll go back inside to plant the bomb. But they did certainly cause chaos. Snappy dualies can't hit anything with them. tabseN looking sharp to start off this pistol. SunPayus, though, up to the task, it seems. Has it down to a one-on-one. tabseN as well. Sin has to peek either way, and SunPayus nails that. Welcome to ENCE, big brother.
Wow, what a round. What a round that was. The pace on that retake as well. The fights, he found them before they could even get away. They wanted to run, they wanted to hide. No longer big, they're looking small after that one. SunPayus, tidy stuff. That round looked done. It was such a creative round here out of big. They must have cooked this one up in the lab. Well, they were cooked because it was a crazy piece. You saw all those mollies, right? They molly top heart, they molly heaven, they molly CT vent. Then they come out and they go through main towards yard. Madden is loving things, knowing this is not too far away now. They have set themselves up pretty. And so after that clutch, think about the type of rounds they won in this map. That 2v5 with Valda and SunPayus, that one right there. Continue to add these to the list.
And Madden, don't discredit what Madden did, because that pistol round was actually interesting. You go through the door, you bust out the vent, you could have run outside. You get outside, you can run to secret and wrap downstairs still. You've already pushed back the rotation in that regard. You can wrap around to heaven. They basically were trying to open the whole map, and as I said, do it before the CTs could set up and isolate Madden. MP9 on Crimbo.
Look at the time, though.
Yeah.
He's up here at a minute 25.
Just full Hail Married it.
Respect's gone out the window, I think.
Yep. That's a good shot from tabseN. But the fact that Madden was able to hold them off outside and they went, right, go back into the site. And fair enough, they had the site. It still worked out. It's not like they did anything wrong, so to speak. But if they'd gotten by him and gone elsewhere, it would have been so much harder for SunPayus to get in the right spot.
Yeah, and it felt like the strat was to scale around towards heaven, but they got scared away. So curious, creative. I can't wait to see a breakdown of that one. But now in a number disadvantaged situation due to Madden's hyper-aggression and SunPayus grabbing one as well, Nuke is still operating with a little something. AK, Deagles, as they contact Squeaky.
Dia, fire at the door, backs away, knows they're inside, nearly spray transferred it over as he took down syrsoN. Got some damage into tabseN, but not enough to drop him completely.
They can plant B right now. syrsoN can't get the bomb down. Nobody responded to this. Valda actually went up secret, so there's a chance.
tabseN takes out Valda as well, so he's starting to really take matters into his own hands here. Getting a bit desperate on the big side. Still just 2 rounds back, about to be 1 at this rate. Although it is a 2-on-1 and he only has 17, so let's not call it necessarily a win for tabseN, but he has certainly been on in this round. 3 kills already, looking for an ace. He looked away, the low HP as well. That one would have been a sitter. It is going to be now 10-7.
That's a really unfortunate one. And the fact that Madden gets the last kill, he was the first guy to activate it, a minute 25 in the round, and the last guy here to come on in to secure it. So, well handled from ENCE. It did start to spiral out of control, but mainly through tabseN's heroics here. About to be locking in our 6th team for the major. We mentioned the names earlier. From the European side of things, we've had Na'Vi and FaZe. That is the grand finalists of the Antwerp major, and NIP, who I think were a little bit unexpected to go through, especially
Dude, I'm impressed by
the 3-0
that
run. Yeah, that's wild. And this will be our 4th team from the European RMRs that will go in the 3-0 bucket, right? Straight into Legends. Now, there's more Legend spots available, but we can have that discussion another time.
Yeah, one of which we can just say, because that one's a little more clear, it'll be either Liquid or EG, and then we'll find that out tomorrow because they'll play off against each other to determine who the outright winner of the America's Road to Rio is.
Which is cool. You actually get the top of the totem pole there, whereas ours isn't structured in that way. Europe has a lot more spots available, 16 for 32 teams, right? Yep. So not all of those are Legend spots. Some of them are Challengers, some of them are Contender. We also have the Asian RMR, which started today. And more matches from that coming tomorrow. But pace, name of the game. Big getting into top right now. Madden's completely blind, back turned, still finds Crimbo. How late was that smoke?
Well, and also how late, like the silence reaction. Crimbo's just running in thinking he has a chance at it, not even remotely considering that he was just being stared at the whole time. He gets taken down, tabseN. They just fall on top of him. He gets to shoot straight upward. It's only going to be a 2-on-2 when it all subsides, though. And bomb again can get planted at the upper site. syrsoN's going to do it with the smoke still inside of the main entrance. Dia will wait for Madden to get better rite of passage toward the site. I think he might even come around. They're going to go together. 2 from heaven.
They have 2 smokes, so they could smoke off Squeaky and Hut Door or get a smoke on the bomb to try and make this one a little bit more jarring. But first they have to take some contact, and syrsoN's given up his spot.
I don't know if he spotted both yet, though. He knows they're there now. He has to. Diaz forced his aim off of it, though. And syrsoN, does he get the information that there's 2? I don't know if they... I'm still not convinced they spotted the second one in rafters. He only spotted 1 based on the fact that he saw the headshot. Now he knows he's on top of the hut. syrsoN just waiting it out. Smoke on top of it's going to hold this. Going to hold it the whole way through. There's 2 smokes. syrsoN's lost it. He's lost the angle, but he gets it back now. And you know his teammate's calling for that. Hey, right.
Yo, that is hard to identify there as well. There's 2 smokes. There's an elevation difference there. It was not easy for syrsoN to find. So another clutch for him. Right, we've actually been singing the praises of syrsoN and tabseN throughout this RMR. They've been the 2 continuing to put damage down range. And this is so close. Look how close this is. Oh, that was so close.
Yeah, Snappy knew how close it was.
Nice try from Madden there. Well, they're going to have to fight again, and this time with a force of their own. Snappy that you can... I don't know what to compare that to. So close. Actually, there's like a gif of a little kid that he's getting fired up. He looked a bit like that. You
Yeah,
like
the angry
facial,
double fist. I think he's in like a high chair.
People at home will know what I'm talking
You guys call
about.
high chairs in Australia? Like the kids' booster seat? Where
That's
they,
the one.
Yeah, okay. All right. I figured you guys might have some cool name for it.
It probably does have some crazy name.
Kangaroo seat. Where
I don't
it's
even
like
call them
pouch.
thongs anymore, mate. I call them flip-flops.
Yeah, that's definitely, you've lost your Aussie passport.
Maybe that's why Dexter won't talk to me anymore.
Yep. I called them thongs just to impress you. I wanted to win you over. Like, I've been wearing my thongers this whole event.
Oh, dear. You need to get back home, baptize myself in the Indian Ocean, I think.
Well, 5 on 5, no damage at a minute on the clock. But the damage is in the economy for the CTs. They've just got the Scout MP9s. We know this is good, though. We talked about that last game, as it can be so menacing, especially with those MP9s to go on top of it. Madden around, first shot, down goes Kiddo. He's now got a gun to work with, picks up the AK-47 and using it to perfection so far. Nearly got the third as well. He's put syrsoN low. syrsoN gets saved. syrsoN and tabseN, they tried to swarm and take advantage of the damage done. Doesn't matter. They'll hold their nerve in Berlin International Gaming. We'll find number 9.
I think if SunPayus had anything other than a scout in that situation, that's another very winnable round for him. You saw the HP for everybody on Big there in the tail end. But these are great rounds of Counter-Strike. It's really exciting. You happen the trades come through. You find yourself in 2-on-2s always. So the clutches always seem possible here, especially how ENCE throw their bodies on the line. But they will have to concede. And that is likely for Big now to find themselves at 10-10, so double digits for everybody here. And syrsoN's, he's pulling his weight. He's got 15 kills. He's starting to really whir into action here, and this is when the team needs it most. Remember, not elimination.
But Volda's eliminated.
I think that's another point as well, is should just be a farm here for tabseN. Is that even if Big don't make it here today, which is still very possible, right? Even if they...
You missed your chance. You missed your chance. Last week you were saying that's all you wanted.
I've had 6 weeks of waiting for that moment.
Oh, dear.
Well, anyway, the point is...
order smoothies and talk it out.
This one stings. The point here is that Big with syrsoN can get more reps in, and I'm not going to make the noise in slow-mo, guys.
Do it.
I can't do it.
Oh, we didn't get to hear. I don't know if I've ever listened to it in slow-mo.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know if I could make
Might have to see if we can get a DJ on the decks or something. Well, this is actually starting to get a little bit hot under the collar here for ENCE. The score is tied, that's one thing, but their buy right now is pretty brittle. Take a look at what's residual here, and then I'll get you all to reflect on the kit situation. And you all understand what that means. So Big, with this round, can put themselves in the driver's seat here and pushing for Mirage as the third, and then everything shifts, the whole tone of this one.
Dia. Shot out, tabseN down. I love this. I do love this position, but it's, you know, it's not one you want to play too commonly because it's pretty easy to get a crosshair placement there, but man, you can catch them off, and Dia gets 2 for it. So used as intended. 10-10 though. Big's making a case for this.
There is a rotation point towards lower already. That's Volda, who will be addressing to the space that has been taken and found by Crimbo and syrsoN. Now syrsoN, he's going to grab himself an AK out of this if he can.
Shot from Volda. Good shot back from syrsoN. So they're only down 1, but they are downstairs as well with this bomb. So there's a chance maybe they can get in towards Snappy, who's been pretty good here on the T side, if you remember back how well he played some of those situations. So see if he can hold the similar angles now that he's on the defensive end.
Just quickly, if we could show SunPayus, I want to show the importance of his position, because one of the issues right now is vent back to top. With SunPayus playing here, he can actually worry about the vent back to top slightly if he positions himself a little bit more aggressive.
Back they go. So, oh yeah, this is done. They think they've got this one. They think they've got the rotations off. SunPayus. Ooh, walk out. Good response, syrsoN. All things considered. But now going upstairs, if he thinks that's it, okay, sure, cut off the vents all you like. Don't know this though, do ya? Madden's gonna sneak out from behind. syrsoN goes down, and 11-10.
All right, not out of hot water just yet. There's still money available for Big to get a buy. Crimbo can drop for syrsoN if they want to prioritize that AWP. It actually looks like it will be tabseN dropping that AWP and then Crimbo to drop an AK. So it still works out, same maths, just from a different person. And ENCE retaining the AWP means SunPayus gets his. So finally a round for ENCE where they feel like they have everything that they should desire. They're still lacking some key utility. They quite literally only have 2 incendiaries in play, and one of those has been used already. And there goes the second. So down the bottle of flames. I love these nades from Big. They always do something geeky with utility.
Oh, he's tripped.
Nades,
Tie up your shoelaces, sir.
That one there. Well, I guess it didn't matter, but it's just the only player that we were watching got the...
Imagine that in real life. You go to like run, throw a nade, you just trip, and you're like, oh my god, oh! Just blows up, and that's that.
It's all over.
Yeah. Luckily, it's Counter-Strike, and you probably only take 2 damage, so.
Well, all 5 of them are outside here. There's a gap in these smokes.
Send a letter home to mom in the war. Ah, yes, how did my son die? Oh, he's a real hero. He tripped and dropped his own grenade. No laughing matter, children.
No, it'd probably be a WhatsApp message, so...
These days, yeah. Yeah, but at least it's encrypted.
Down towards B now with a lion's share of the forces. Sin has the flank. Everybody else has the front line. The boost to clear.
Nicely done from Dia.
They're scaling past. Volder, he's going to know that they're in the side now, or he should.
Oh,
Sorry,
that does
what?
know, but just gives himself up. Just ran in. I don't know if he thought they weren't that many, if there wasn't numbers there. But Big's in a good position now because Kiddo's got Dia down, and they've got the vents covered off. We saw that. SunPayus is going to back off. They are going to have to save. This is going to go 11-11. We have a game right now.
They completely misunderstood the situation there, ENCE, didn't they? Well, mainly Volder did, because that kill comes very easy. The first 2 kills were very easy. The players were unable to respond whatsoever. And then Volder gives them an opportunity. Otherwise, they would have been boxed in. It means that they could have only operated from the, I guess, the dark position as well as the double door side with the window. The rotation could have come through from ENCE. There would have been no rush about that. And now they have to save with these 2 weapons. The loss bonus doesn't exist for them here. It's 1900 into the next round of play, meaning dropping guns is a problem. So this is the type of round where they might have to concede. So yeah, maybe just top rushing round after round in that first half will come back to bite them in the arse here. Big showing they aren't any slouch, especially after their own map choice of Dust 2, because Dust 2 didn't look good. It left a bit of a bad taste.
No, it didn't at all, considering it was their map choice. But then statistically, we were looking into this and saying that Big, they don't really play Nuke, that there's not much of a chance for them. They lose 8 rounds on the T side as well. And I thought, okay, cool, they made a good half out of it, but that's where this ends. But no, apparently not. This is, ENCE are kind of fumbling a little bit here on the defense, and Big's finding the openings. tabseN's been a huge part of it. He's having an excellent half right now. And we know tabseN, man, when he goes off, like, I would say his skill, it's a bit like Zontaras, only I think he delivers even more than that. But like Zontaras, we know has incredible skill and can peak very high. Yeah. I think tabseN could be like, if he had the, like, let's play, he played at his peak all year, he could be a top 5, top 20 player at the end of the year. You know what I mean?
When he was back on NRG with like Godby and Legia, and then I think it was like PTR and Fugly, something like that,
yes.
right? Yep. That was ages ago, and he was still a monster. He's always been a monster. Now he has to lead as well, and Sin, leading by example, in first, rips this site apart. Get out of here, ENCE. You got to save again.
They do, and they're going to take the lead big. This is fantastic from them. Remember, Legends spot for them in Rio if they're able to make this series count, if they're able to pull this back. So bomb will tick away, and it'll be a 12th round. T-side going very, very well. And yeah, they're going to have to really talk this out on the ends.
The thing is, ENCE after this, when they reflect and they talk about it, they can go, oh yeah, we never got our economy going. But a lot of that was by their own choice, right? They went to buy in here behind the AWP and the M4, and you could make arguments for why that's a good idea. You definitely can. They had MP9s. Very strong weapon, but just not enough. Really just not enough to deal with what's coming out. And a map like Nuke, where you need to dissuade with utility, right? You need a molly towards Squeaky, a molly towards Heart. We even see the deep molly outside now to slow down the Crawl's yard, a smoke towards ramp. You need all of that utility to be able to play the chess game that is Nuke with map control. Well, I think right now Big have turned it into checkers because they're just running straight into topside here and blowing them out of the water. So yeah, ENCE really do need to take a timeout and have a conversation, and it will be their 3rd. syrsoN needs to settle the boys now, and they can half invest. Fortunately, the loss bonus has built in this slew of 5 of the last 6 rounds of play in favor for the big boys. And think about how bad this half would be if SunPayus didn't win a 1-on-3 on pistol.
Absolutely true. Yeah. That this could be an unwinnable situation for ENCE to try and get back in, but we'll see what they can come up with now.
I'm glad the caster curse worked for good. But we got in early. We made sure we got in early just so we would get this type of a game.
You did nail that one. I saw you were using your powers on Twitter as well.
That was for evil.
Yeah, well, that's not surprising.
And they put a 3-year time frame on the guy, so...
Yeah, which means it'll turn out to be 6.
Double trouble. All right, well, save guns again. Will we see an ENCE round or the big keep the pain train going? Sin entering again.
MP9, he's off angle this. He's not going to go for the fallback. He's going to go for the spray and pray, and he's absolutely nailed it because he's gotten Sin and Kiddo down on that. tabseN with the only response. This might be what ENCE need. A little bit of fortune and a bit of a risk on the play, and Balda's going to burn alive. Crimbo tosses that one in. That actually brings it back a little closer. So Dia does get Crimbo. It's all onto tabseN. You can see the foot inside of the door. Smoke down. They're going to transition, but he's red. That doesn't matter. Madden's got the shot. 12-12. We tie it right back up.
Madden's like, I need an AK. I need an AK. Please don't let me save this AWP, and he will. So we'll see if that gets dropped over towards ramp to be used and utilized for Volda. Maybe Diha wants to pick it up. But again here, this is just a fast play that actually worked out. So the opening pick of the AWP came in. The MP9 towards ramp. I don't know how you can get too frustrated about that round if you're big. It's a Hail Mary attempt, right? You're literally rushing ramp, trying to trade out Snappy in that situation. Maybe he goes 1 for 1, maybe he gets none, maybe he killed all 4, right? You never know, it's a coin toss. It will be Snappy with the secondary AWP, so he'll take that towards ramp.
Smoke outside. So SunPayus with a gap still, though, with this.
Should have 1 kill here. This is... Oh, he's turned away. It still gets the kill. Okay, SunPayus. Thought he overstayed his welcome.
I thought he actually was expecting a flash on it, which sometimes it's just like such a weird game sense that they're so good at predicting flashes that I seemingly never know are coming, but still got the kill, like you say. They do lose the ground, though. They've given up outside, and SunPayus rotating down. Stepped back on it. If he had committed to the shot fully, he might have gotten away with that. He's tagged to 54.
I want to try and give some... What is going on? Okay, I wanted to try and give some understanding to the decision-making of Diha, and now maybe Volda. We might have to do that after the round, because Madden to lock them down. He's out of the round. These pushes into the timing of big, ENCE don't know what's happening.
No, they don't. And Snappy's going to try and save this. Does catch out syrsoN, but he's already conceded heaven. Bomb's going to be planted, so Big are going to now have 13 rounds. Mirage is last, if needed. I bring that up because it's getting closer and closer to that scenario.
This is the thing. So Diha's decision-making to push through the smoke. To explain that, tabseN likes to lurk outside behind the yard smoke. So they're going, okay, if I push through and I see nothing, we know it's not going to be outside and we can heavily rotate and fortify ramp and top. Understandable, he dies. But then the next is, SunPayus takes contact down towards B of 1 player. Why does Volda then walk out into main? He saw 1 player. He didn't see anything else. Volda then offers himself up main, and then Madden gets caught on a bad timing as well, trying to come up the vent. So this swarmy style on the CT side that was working great on a map like Dust 2 is not working for ENCE at all. They might have to allow the game just to settle and simmer in. You don't always have to take the most aggressive fight you can find, and that seems to be on the agenda here. But 2 retained AWPs, residual cash, means not the end of the world. You can see how easy this is for Crimbo. This is even with losing tabseN the leader immediately, the man with all the firepower. Crimbo showing up in the server now. Yanko was talking about how Crimbo has shown, peaks that he can, have a very good game, and then in the next not do so well. This is one of the very good games. 20 kills for him now. The 2 IC to tabseN on 23.
Smoke's outside, extinguishing flames already. Gap in the box that SunPayus tries to take advantage of. Dia's read the fact that they're going to go over the top on that as well. He heard it. The stampede up top, and it gives away his spot. It's Dia that's going to spray into the smoke as well, but he needs to consider, okay, they've got a second player at the vents. I was going to say, they need to consider sending someone downstairs now. Madden will go. And he is going to go to the corner. He's going to go more than that. This is no man's land, though, because it's such a wide angle. He's got to swing so far back. He commits. They know he commits, so they know they had the fight waiting for them. And syrsoN hits it. Damage was done, though. Window blown out for Snappy. Now, Sin's got that call. Did they commit? Or do they go... They're at decontamination. I'm surprised Sin's not going down the ramp to try and pinch off that control room.
I feel like Snappy might have to keep pushing here. I know it seems crazy with the AWP, but he will get pinned here momentarily, right? Like, he's going to have to play between ramp and lower. And AWP, not the best weapon for the job, especially in the hands of the in-game leader here.
Surprised there's not more of... Okay, well, he's shut down syrsoN, so now they're in a good position. I was going to say, I'm surprised there's not more of a rotation from Secret already. Snappy's doing an excellent job. Sin was the one that had the information and the element of surprise potentially in his favor. Crimbo, bomb planted, damage dealt, but no kill. We'll try and go over toward Big Box, and he, I think, is done for. Dia's going to find that one, but that was an excellent job by Snappy to get 2 kills and ENCE tie the game again.
Yeah, just seeing him having to do a bit more combat, AWPing up close and personal. Fortunately, it didn't get up close and personal, so hits 2 very nice shots, finds a very good timing right there. Good stuff from Snappy. makes me eat my words and continues to bring ENCE level. Now, yeah, I'm just taking a look here. What's available for Big going forward? Do they want to take another timeout to have a chit-chat here as we give you the highlights of Snappy with the big green? Looking a bit more orange and yellow. Orange and yellow? Orange and white. Where'd the yellow come from?
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
I think that's what happened.
Yellow.
I do think that's exactly what my brain did. Okay, they have an ult back out for syrsoN, so there was enough cash for a buy here. A couple of AKs, Galil, Tech 9. All right. Well, we're going the distance here. Maybe we will get that crescendo after all. And it's now just 3 rounds away from locking themselves in for that legend spot, joining the other big names that have managed to do so in the course of yesterday. Na'Vi, FaZe, and IP. Be number 4 from the European RMRs.
Smokes outside, still holding this off. It's kind of like everyone's call. It's like you're playing tag right now and everyone says timeout and just no one moves, just like the gentleman's agreement.
Get the hand on the letterbox here, I think.
I don't know that expression. Is that like when you're safe?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right. Letterbox was just the object you chose. Got it.
We had in the front yard. It's a pretty big deal. But they're going to go for a late top split here, and they're hoping that the fact that nothing is seen outside will force the rotation back. So now the first part of the pump. The second will be whirring into action momentarily.
Crimbo waiting to go. syrsoN's going to go upstairs and give him a Molotov to clear off top side of hut. Kiddo will wrap around on that as well. So if anyone falls off, but Valda's the one they have to confront. And that's going to be difficult. I'm say that. Valda's going to be out of ammunition and not ready to react. tabseN and the flames on top of silos instead is going to push Tia down. Crimbo gets that kill. Great take. Man, oh man, ENCE can tie this game. They can't take back the lead. Have to save again. SunPayus and Snappy heading back to spawn.
Yeah, it's so rough for poor Diha. They're having to drop down into those flames. Didn't know really how to operate. I think it's that opening pick for Sin that is the key of all of that for me. He's actually been looking tidy in the opening department here. He has pulled off a couple in some big rounds. That works both ways. And they're now going to put themselves 2 rounds away here from netting this one up. We've mentioned it several times. Mirage up next, and that's where it becomes anybody's game. This one here should have been the conversion for ENCE, right? We had Dust too. It was a blowout, 16-9. I don't think that really shows how dominant it was for ENCE in that victory. They kind of took their time to close in the second half. And they're taking their time now as well. And that's the Sin onto Matt, and then Volda gets one back. Great trade from tabseN, then Diha has to drop. He's marooned. So an easy scoop up there for Crimbo. But with these saves after saves, they've been able to get themselves back into very strong buys, but that wasn't up against a strong buy on the big side of things. A timeout was called on the ENCE side.
I think this is their final.
Yeah, 4th and final. Oh, I think there's issues. They might not be able to hear the coach right now. So this is what it looks like. They're probably going to be trying to get this timeout again. If the coach hasn't been able to talk, the timeout is
it's void.
Completely voided.
It effectively turns into a tech timeout during that period, and then they'll open up the tech into the tactical. So they'll get 30 seconds of full talking.
I don't know what they're going to get right now. We're about to go back into things live here.
Okay, well.
That could be one to discuss after the game.
Maybe they figured it out. Yeah, obviously the admin has to unmute the coach. And sometimes there's other issues, who knows. But yeah, technically you go into technical, you have to be quiet, they fix it, boom, have your tactical, carry on, and get back underway. Either way, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get back underway, big still with the lead. And ENCE need this round. Snappy. Gonna be the first, or at least it appears right now is gonna be the first to be challenged. They're gonna run it in. They saw the nade. They figured they could get
damage
ahead of them. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Probably the best nade we've seen against Armor all event long. SunPayus getting kills on top of it. They're going to challenge the AWP, though. He knows it. Back outside the doors. That puts him further away from ramp, though. So this gives them a bit more space, a bit more leverage to go downstairs without being flanked or threatened in that possibility. Is Snappy. Reverse side orange. He knows the molly's coming in. Hits the beautiful headshot. Crosshair placement was on top of it. It's a 5 on 2 in favor of ENCE. He knows they're still working in. Sin's further up, but he spotted him last second in the peripherals. If he was Ekinder, he would have sat too close to see that. So good thing he has sat back and relaxed. It's syrsoN now all by his lonesome.
Now, see how much damage syrsoN can do, because it's still at a very important juncture of the game right now. A couple of key issues for both teams has been the finances. That's why we've seen so many saves here. Lost bonus bottomed out right now for Big, so I'm sure he'd love to hold on to the AWP. Start doing the maths on the buys to the next, but this is the question. It's like, if he gets a couple of kills, great. If he saves the AWP, great. If he goes down, worst case scenario, and he's kind of boxed in right now. You can see the positioning of Madden here out towards the entrance T-side lobby. Up the ladder he'll go, and if he actually peers above the lobby doorway, Madden might be able to see him. Now, oof.
Nah, I don't think so.
Taking the safe route, yeah. So he should get away with this one now. syrsoN will retain. He can drop an AK into the next. That will be called upon. That's if they want to buy. And this right now for Big is a big talking point, right? We just saw the timeout there from ENCE. Well, now Big need to have a chat because you could drop the AK from syrsoN. You could give that to Crimbo or Keto. syn and tabseN will be able to buy themselves. So we've already got ourselves into 4 AK-47s. That just means one player will be operating on something less. And syrsoN has just gone for that drop, which is quite telling here that they will be purchasing up. They don't want to allow this one to go to overtime, or at least the 15-15 with the chance of overtime. And no timeout called out of the Big camp. So we get straight back underway here. Just Crimbo to operate on a deagle here. So they have prioritized utility as a part of this. They could have afforded more AKs, but they want the U2 instead of the firepower. Squeaky blown off. syrsoN looking for a fight, but SunPayus won't give him the head-to-head just yet. Oof, have to be careful jumping across there.
The outside Molotov to cover off the red crate tabseN. Takes no prisoners in this round and takes no chances by checking the corners. Doesn't want to be caught off this early. Opening pick goes the way of Big. That's massive. Vaulted down as well.
The top side, so slightly softened up here.
It's been back and forth for the last 6 rounds. No consecutive rounds since the pistol for ENCE in this half as well. Important to note. So they, again, tie the game. For the 3rd time in a row, tie the game, but they need the lead now.
The bomb's in lobby. That's a big problem.
syrsoN coming around this AWP position, still scoped in, hoping not to make noise and catch someone out who might be out of position. But tabseN's downstairs, you're right. Bomb's still at lobby. Imagine it will go toward the vent right now. And it's an off angle with Dia on turnpike as well. Snappy's able to avoid and follow up. He's, ooh, got syrsoN out of Dia, though. They read that play, but a Molotov will hold them off the bomb. They have to push all the way through the lower sights. syrsoN, good shot. Madden on the flank, though, but they've got to push down from the bottom and get back, and SunPayus is in great position with the AWP. Now they have control of the bomb. They may have had lower, but they had to go all the way through tabseN. Good start, doesn't matter. He can't finish it out with the 2nd bullet, and it is 15 rounds for ENCE.
Well, they've given us the fireworks we wanted here, and this man on your screen, especially their in-game leader, Snappy, massive stuff, getting G'd up by the teammates there, but Snappy, that was huge. They gave them the control. They were down a man. They said to themselves, that's fine, they can have lower. If they plant, guess what? We'll likely save. But if they have to come through lobby, through hut, through ramp with that bomb, we'll stop them right here, right now. And Snappy does exactly that. The in-game leader in the last few influential rounds here for ENCE has been phenomenal. And look at this, getting fired up now. Just one more round. It's all ENCE need, and it's against these pistols, the broken buy. Big, they've whirred back into us. They tried to make it a competitive game, but ENCE qualifying for the major in 5 more frags.
Valda holding off that smoke in the door, making sure no one's going to go through it. Pistols only for Big. SunPayus with the smokes. He's watching, but another one's going to bloom in front of him. He won't have the vision he wants and he desires. He still has a chance to catch them out late, though, if they don't hurry up, because that back 2 smokes, exactly that, we're about to dissipate, and as it did, he spots out syn. So a bit too slow to gather themselves after throwing those smokes, trying to be silent, and now he knows for certain that they were heading outside. Dia gets the warning. The alarm bells will go off. He baits out a few shots, though, as he ducks underneath the aim. Does tabseN, but Kiddo as well will walk in, slaughtered by 2. It's Dia that will eventually go down, and the smoke, the incendiary on toward the silo. Bomb not planted, and the game and series over. ENCE are legends in Rio.
Huge stuff here from ENCE. You can see the celebration now. Hugs all round, and they've had to rebuild the roster. In the player break, SunPayus and Valda come in to fill the boots of Hades and Spinks, and this is job done. ESL Pro League didn't go great for them, but this is fantastic. 3-0 here. They're going to lock themselves in for that legend stage. Right now, we have FaZe, Na'Vi, and ENCE. That was top 3 of the last major. If we get Spirit in later today, that's all of the top 4 back in show. A great showing here, but Big back to the drawing board, and we'll see more from them tomorrow.
Absolutely will. With that, we're going to see more from the desk in just a minute, because this one's done. Let's send it over.